Soul Brew. Good morning, and welcome back to Soul Brew, Season 2 of bringing together curated voices from around the world, leading us through a journey of introspection and inspiration leading up to the high holidays. So I'm Rabbi Bluth, host and producer of Soul Brew, along with Beth Tzedek, Center for Spiritual Well-Being and Living Jewishly. Today, I'm delighted to welcome Rabbi Dr. Shmully Yanklowitz. Rabbi Shmuly is the president and dean of the Valley Beit Midrash. He's based in Arizona, and he is known, I imagine many of you know of his work. He's known for being a social justice warrior within the Orthodox world. He's an incredible teacher. He weaves spirituality with justice. He really brings the neshama down to earth. He's really a light for our people, and I'm so touched that he decided to join us with a soul brew so that we can learn from his wisdom, so that he can bring us more wholly, with more integrity, into this Rosh Hashanah season. And we can see where he weaves Jewish wisdom and Jewish spiritual wisdom with sort of universal action. So may we be blessed to learn from Rabbi Shmuly. It is with deep gratitude that I welcome you, and I'm delighted that this community gets to hear some of your voice and be guided by some of your wisdom and leadership. Leading up to Rosh Hashanah, what is your soul brewing?
Good morning, everyone. Leading up to the high holidays, my soul is brewing the presence of now. The presence of now. Friends, I'm Shmully Yanklowitz. I live down here in Scottsdale, Arizona, leading Valley Beit Midrash, a global center for Jewish learning and leadership and action, also involved in Uri Tzedek, Shemayim, and Yatom, and grateful to be learning with this wonderful community. And I miss Canada, my home country where I was born. Sending love to all Canadian friends and other friends who are tapping in, who are listening in today, wherever you are in the world. The presence of now. The presence of now. That is what my soul is brewing. And I want to share with you a Torah from Rav Yaakov of Polnoi, recorded in the Bain Porat Yosef. He writes, I heard from my teacher the following parable that he would recite before the blowing of shofar. There was once a great and wise king who created illusory walls, towers, and gates to conceal himself. He then instructed that all should come to him through those gates and towers. He also commanded that treasures should be placed at every gate. There were those who would come to the first gate and return home. There are those who would come to the second gate and then return home. This continued until the beloved son of the king strived to reach his father. He realized that there was no real barrier between himself and his father because it was all illusory. And so I wrote in another place, that which I heard from my teacher of blessed memory. A person must understand that God's glory fills the world, and even the smallest movement or thought comes from him. If so, then all of the angels in heavenly chambers, all of creation was made, so to speak, from God's essence. May God be blessed. Just as the snail and his shell are one, one will recognize that there is no barrier or screen that separates between humans and God. Friends, what Rav Yaakov of Polnoi is writing about here in the Bain Porat Yosef is the idea that is so fundamental to the Hasidic Torah, so fundamental to the panentheistic theology, so fundamental to Jewish mysticism and all of Jewish theology and spirituality in general, which is to say that it is not about transcendence, but immanence, that the presence of the Creator is not out there, but right here. And as we approach Rosh Hashanah, with all of the liturgy and all of the choir and all of the singing and all of the sermons and all of the community and all of the shofar blasts, that each of those provides a vehicle to come closer, a necessary vehicle. And yet, we need not travel beyond. We need not have countless vehicles. We simply need to be radically present now to this moment and see that the walls are elusive, the gates and the towers, that we can be in the inner chamber. And this idea is not only spiritually radical, but ethically crucial for us to see what is right in front of our eyes. And so the Radbaz, Rav David ibn Zimra, 15th century Spain and Israel, tells a story about a prison guard who asked the prisoner which day free he would like each year. You can pick one day to be free from prison. Which day do you pick? Would you like Yom Kippur? Would you like Pesach? Which day would you like? And the prisoner thought, and he said, I choose right now. I choose right now. Because friends, freedom can't wait. Awakening can't wait. The moral mandates of our lives can't wait. If we are going to choose freedom, if we are going to choose actualization, we need to choose it right now, in this moment, at this opportunity. And friends, that moral mandate emerges in our tradition. It is where the theological and the ethical become one. It is where the spiritual and the moral become united. In the notion that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is right here, that the creator of the world, the revealer of the world, the redeemer of the world, is not out there, but right here. And what that also means is that in our own Tselem Elokim, in our own image of God, we find our godliness within us in our own dignity, but also that we find it in the other. And we start to see the unseen. We start to hear the unheard. We start to make the invisible visible. Because the work of Jewish social justice, which is so fundamental to Jewish ethics, that we see the vulnerable and lift them up, is about making the invisible people visible. People who are crying from abuse, foster children, the homeless, people living in deep poverty, people experiencing war, genocide, those experiencing marginalization, alienation. And of course, it's not just people, it's also animals, it's the earth. But the first priority of people, to make invisible people seen, to make the tears that we can't see seen, to make the cries that we can't collectively hear heard. And friends, that is what Rav Yaakov of Polnoy is saying, that when we approach the shofar blast, the tekiah, when we hear the sound of the shofar, that one of our kavanot, one of our intentions, has to be to start to hear again, to start to see again. That we don't wait for retirement. We don't wait to be wealthy. We don't wait for our children to move out of the home. We don't wait for free time. This is the moment. This is the moment to see the presence of our Creator everywhere around us, to see the opportunity for transformation everywhere we look. Will we raise up or descend? Will we elevate the sparks or extinguish? Will we bring tikkun or will we destroy? Each moment we have that choice. And Rosh Hashanah, the creation of the world, the creation of humanity, the rebirth of all of life, is a moment of reaffirmation. And we need not journey into outer space. We need not journey to the intellectual depths. We need to simply wake up to the deeper realities right around us, the tragic realities and the beauty realities, the most beautiful and the most tragic. And they all become one in gratitude in our lives. Our souls are brewing. Our souls are brewing for actualization towards our fate and towards our destiny of a redeemed world. And each of us has our own part to play in this. May we do this year in good health and in strength and in prosperity and together in holiness with all of the Kedusha and the Kiddush Hashem that we made together bring redemption to ourselves, not through some massive transformation externally, but internally in this awakening. Shana Tova.
Ba-da